Hi Scrappers, it's Kat, my scrapping mama. Hope you're having a wonderful December. I haven't made a video in a while. I say that often because my videos seem like they're few and far between anymore. But I have been busy, as I know most of you have. But I found a new tool, a new crafty thing to play with, and a way to use my stamps. So I thought I would share that with you. Very much a beginner. No way am I up there with any of the true artists who really do this all the time and are so good at it. But it's a fun outlet for me, and my son has also been getting into this. It's a fun outlet for me, a way to make some small personalized gifts for friends and family, and just a new time waster. So anyway, I will just show you what I got. I got this really cool plaid wood burner from Walmart. I've been wanting one for a couple years. I don't know what stopped me. It was 12 bucks in a box. Came with like I think 6 tips. Gets up to 750 degrees. It's really been a lot of fun. This tip right here I really enjoy. Um, you can lay it flat and kind of do some shading with it. You can make it pointy. I like it. There's some other tips that come in there. A few of them I haven't used yet. A few are real fine tips, which I also enjoy. So anyway, this is definitely not for children. It could hurt you very badly. It gets up to, I believe, like I said, 750 degrees. And you do not want to leave it on unattended because who knows what could happen. But I have some wood slices. They're fresh, so, and they smell really good. And I think this is redbud. If only you could smell it. So when it gets hot and it's heated with the tool, it smells really good. And then I've got some cedar that is just amazing when it gets burnt. So you can imagine. So I just kind of want to show you some that I've made. I did a lot of practicing, but again, I am nowhere near these artists on YouTube. Make this amazing artwork. But this is something fun and a way to use your stamps in a way you may not have used them before. So this is a tree, and this I believe is from the Fresh Air scrapbooking stamp set, and I don't know if it's available anymore. I'm not a consultant. I used to be, but I still love their stamp sets, and I use them all the time. I think they make really good images. So I just stamped this with some black tuxedo ink and then burnt it. And it's really pretty. Put an eye ring in it and some red hemp twine, and it makes a really nice rustic ornament. And on the back, I did some stamping. So I'll probably seal this with Mod Podge. And then here's another one from that same stamp set. This one here, I put on some Ponderosa pine cones, which is what I was told that they were when I bought them off eBay. They came from China, so who knows. This is some close to my heart ribbon and twine, an eye ring, and hangs like that. A little tip. See, there's more bark coming off, so I know I'll be Mod Podging this for sure. When you're putting your eye ring in, start it with the tip of your wood burner, and then screw it in slowly, and then if you hear it start to crack, stop twisting. I kept twisting and I kind of cracked it, but it just makes it much more rustic. Here's another one, same stamp set. Another one with the tree. I just love this tree, and I loved it before I started wood burning. I loved it in cards and stuff. Again, more Ponderosa pine cones, twine, and hang it up. It's really pretty. And then on the back it says, "May you enjoy the blessings of the season." Here's one I did with a really old stamp set. I think it's at least 12, 13, maybe even older. Probably 12 years old. Stamp set from Close to My Heart. I think it was like Snow Friends, something like that. Anyway, I stamped this, I burned it, and then I went back and I put on just a little bit of Mod Podge onto a brush, a dry brush with Mod Podge, and then I put flock on it. You can see that. And then I went up here and used some alcohol markers, and you don't have to use alcohol markers, it's just what I had right there. Colored in a little bit of his hat and his scarf, and then again, just a dry brush with just a tiny bit of Mod Podge, and then I used some old, it's called Prismaglitter from Close to My Heart. They don't carry that anymore. And then put an eye ring on it, stamp the back, may you enjoy the blessings of the season, and then some really pretty ribbon that matches the color I used in the marker. And there we go. And it hangs on the tree lovely. I did have it hanging on the tree. Here's one where I experimented with tissue paper. This is some tissue paper that I got last year, probably Dollar General, Dollar Tree. And I just cut it out to the interior of my circle. And then on the outside, I used some Aleene's Tacky Glue and I put some twine around it. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I like things to be perfectly round, and due to the individuality of each wood slice, it's not perfectly round, and I don't know that I like the shape of how the twine wraps around, but it's very rustic. It's cute, and it was inexpensive. This is just one little square of tissue paper. I traced the inside of the wood circle, cut it out with scissors, and Mod Podged on there. So anyway, and again, some eye ring and some twine. This is another one. This is another fresh piece. I think this is also red bud, but I could be wrong. I can't remember exactly. I stamped from Close to My Heart. I think it's Fa La 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 stamp set. And after I stamped it, I then colored it in with some Zig markers, and I think these colors are really pretty. They show up really well, and these are the colors are Pure Red and then Evergreen. I'm not sure if they still make these colors anymore, but I used the fine tip, and these are made in Japan. So these are a little older Zig markers that I've had. Just love my Zig markers. Anyway, so then once I burned it, I went back and just filled in any spots that I thought might need it. And then on the back, I went to stamp a sentiment, and the dog bumped my arm, so it's smeared. And I really don't want to sand it off. And I really didn't want to paint over it because I thought that might be kind of weird to have a stamped image on this side. So I just cut out a piece of scrapbook paper, a thin sheet. It's not heavy cardstock, and Mod Podged it to the back. And then I went and Mod Podged all the way around and Mod Podged over the front. So now it looks actually like it's been sealed with a sealer, but let me tell you what, this bark is not coming off now. It is all glued down, and I just used a thin piece of twine, and I might change that up and make it a little thicker. I think that looks really cute. This is probably my favorite ornament that I've done so far. Usually my tree is purple and green, like peacock feathers. That's my favorite colors of all time. This year my tree is going to be very rustic. So I'm going to be using burlap ribbon and these wood slice ornaments. So the last one I want to show you is this cute little puppy dog. It's another Close to My Heart image. And then I just went around the edges with the wood burner. I used a real fine tip and went around it, and then stamped something on the back, sending the warmest Christmas wishes to you and your family. Put an eye ring in it, put some ribbon or twine here, and I think this is probably Spellbinders. And there you have it. It's really cute. This is a real small one. And I just can't stress enough how good they smell. So, I have another stamp set. This is Purrific from Close to My Heart, and I stamped the kitty on here. Now real slowly, I'm just going to burn the kitty's image. very carefully. My wood burner's been on for probably 15 minutes. And you need a scrap piece of wood so you can see what's happening. Now the package says that you can sharpen this with an emery board. So I think mine's probably getting close to needing to be sharpened, but I'm going to show you how I burn this and then we will finish it off. So I am not an expert by any means. This is just one of my most favorite new crafty tools, and I can't believe I'm 50 years old and it took me this long to get one. So much fun. And it just, as you're burning the wood, it brings back memories of camping and campfires or out in the backyard with the fire pit. Makes me want to drink hot cocoa. And I work downstairs. I have a full finished basement, daylight basement. It's a walkout. And all three sides of my basement are underground, and you would think it would stay a little warmer. It actually stays probably 60, 65 year round down here. But I have a giant sliding glass door to the one side that is not underground. And while I love the sliding glass door, it does let in a lot of cool air, it seems like. And so doing this actually keeps me warm. So I can craft and not be cold. My hands aren't cold. So anyway, I am not good at freehanding anything. And using these stamps, I think, is awesome. It's perfect for those freehanders. Now, you can use a stencil, tape your stencil, or use a pencil and follow the stencil and use that pencil to trace your image to the wood and follow that. So if you don't have any stamps, or if you're really good, you can freehand your image. I'm telling you, there are some fantastic artists out there on YouTube. I just love the winter scenes or the mountain scenes with like the wolf howling at the moon, the mountains, a lake, the galaxy. These people are just immensely talented. So there's also a big thing on Instagram if you do hashtag Woodburning. Wow, amazing. So if you're like me, you're never going to be that talented, but you can still enjoy this inexpensive crafty tool that you can pick up at Walmart. And part of me thinks I might have even saw this at Dollar General. I'm not sure. I think maybe I did see these at Dollar General even. You know, a lot of Dollar Generals have that small craft area. So, now I will tell you, if you stop and start, you're going to get some indentations in your outline. So really what I think, for me, what works best is to kind of make the initial sweep ever so lightly and then come back and apply just a tad bit of pressure. So I have not done the kitty yet, so I don't have any muscle memory really as to what this outline should look like. So this may not turn out so good. Who knows? But it's fun. and it's just wood, and if you mess up, the dog chew on it, or put it outside in your flower beds if you've messed up, and send it back to nature. Don't throw them in the trash. My son's German Shepherd, I think I put stuff up high enough, but you know, when she stands up, she can get up to something 5 foot tall, and she just loves to chew on these. So some of my slices have little bite indentations. That's okay, I just use those for practice. Anyway, so you're kind of getting an idea of how this goes. So like I said, what I've learned is to kind of go over it lightly first, kind of make your first valley, and then come back and apply a little bit more pressure. Now I will tell you, I have really some bad eyesight, and sometimes this is really hard for me to look at, these small lines, and it's no different than when I am crafting, making cards and such. So I'm thinking about investing in a magnifying lamp. So if you have one of those and you really like it, leave a comment what brand it is and where you got it and what you like about it. Thinking about investing in one. They can be pricey. I know a lot of quilters use them. So now that my wood is fresh, I do have some slices that are about a year old, and they are actually a little easier to work with. I think when the wood is wet like this, it makes it a little bit harder. So keep that in mind. Don't give up. It takes a lot of practice. And if you do go out on Instagram or see the other channels of the wood burners, do not get discouraged. These people have been doing it for a long, long time, and if you're new to this, you're not going to be spectacular overnight. These people have probably been doing it for years. And it is a skill, and it's an art. Like I said, for me, it's just a new crafty tool. I don't know how long I'll do it, but I think that this will probably be a staple in my crafty stash. Now, sometimes the tip, for whatever reason, gets a little loose. Just grab it with some pliers and twist it and tighten it up a little bit. Now, Miss Kitty's nose, I'm just going to go ahead and burn that in. And then the eyes. Okay, so there is my once over. So I'm going to start again where I already was and just kind of go back over using a little bit more pressure. And some of these points where I stopped and started, it's kind of obvious. I'm going to go back over those so that you don't see the start and stop point so much. Now, since this is my first season using this, I would imagine that these images obviously are going to last forever. But I don't know how this is going to turn out on some of these because the wood is wet. I mean, it's not wet with rain, but it's because these were live trees that were thinned out. Some of these. And so I don't know how it's going to look when they really dry out. But so I'm just kind of cleaning up some of my edges. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. Now there was a spot here where I left it on a little too long and it kind of burnt it just a little bit, discolored it slightly, but I think that's fine. Okay, so now I'm going to put my eye ring in, and I'm just going to go in at the top and just apply some light pressure, and your burner will actually burn the wood for you. Oh, and it smells good. Okay, so now I need one of my rings, and I put these in a bag. Yeah, I got these at Walmart. They were, no, I did not get them at Walmart. I take that back. I got them at Lowe's. They were a little pricey. So I think I'm going to look for them online. So sometimes the wood is so hard you have to screw it in with the pliers, but this worked just fine. Okay, so there we go. So there's our little kitty. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp a sentiment on the back of that. And let me grab one. Here I have, I think I got this at Tuesday morning. It's myart.com. Spellbinders puts this out. Since these are going to be ornaments, I think I'm going to put on the back, Happy Holidays. And these stick like crazy, and I've actually used these. This stamp set came with star die. Okay, so I've got that. Get my block. I'm going to tell you just my personal opinion that these don't cling to the block very well. I don't know why. I don't know if because they were older or what. And it seems misshapen. So let me do a couple test stamps. Yeah, I think that's fine. And get up really well. And when you use these acrylic stamps on these wood pieces, even the rough cut ones, it stamps a really good image. It's amazing. Okay, so I've got some ribbon and some twine. So I've got twine. So I've got this hemp twine in red and brown. I'm going to use that. And so before I Mod Podge this, I'm going to go ahead and do all of this because when I'm going to have to hang it for the Mod Podge to dry. Just do the simple twisty through there knot. It is an actual word, twisty through. And something happened to my knot. There we go. So I'm just going to snip that off like that. It's a rough knot. And then I'm going to add a bow. I'm just going to put this around the eye hook. Do not just a simple bow like what you would tie with your shoes. It's perfectly fine. Okay, so there it is. That is really cute. Any cat lover would love to get this as a Christmas ornament. So next I'm going to Mod Podge it. And I'm using a paintbrush that's been stuck down in the bottle there, so it's got a lot of glue on it. It's putting some generous helping a Mod Podge on here. And I found when experimenting with this, I'm going to go all the way over to the edges because you're going to pick up and you're going to get on that bark so that the bark doesn't come off. So like I said, this wood here is not a dry wood. It is actually was live growth. So I'm not sure how this is going to look a year from now or 6 months from now. I don't know if it's going to yellow or if there's going to be sap coming out. So I'll try to remember to do a follow-up next year. Okay, so I put on generous Mod Podge. There it is, and then I will hang it to dry. It's shelves and they have lots of push pins in them for stuff like this. So anyway, getting back, I just want you to use your stamps in a new way, some way you've never done before, and that could be wood burning. For 12 bucks at Walmart, you can pick up this little plaid wood burner. It comes with multiple tips. And go ahead and burn some ornaments. Buy some eye rings. I think it was $2 for a pack of 20 of these. They're quite expensive. So you probably want to check out Amazon or eBay for those. But I've put paper on my wood slices. I've burned images with stamping. I've colored and I've Mod Podged. I don't know why you couldn't varnish these. I've done flocking, alcohol markers, glitter. It's just amazing what you can do. So I hope that you've enjoyed my short little instructional video, introduction to wood burning for beginners. And I hope that you use these stamped images up that you have and maybe pull out some oldies that you haven't used in a while and get to playing. It's a lot of fun. All right. See you later. Bye. Happy crafting.